So what do you do webinars about? Just do it on stuff that's relevant to your prospect base. But you guys all are students of the game. Like, you're sitting on this webinar, so you're sitting on other webinars. You're hearing from other experts. You probably go to conferences. If you take that great information and you apply it to your niche, pest control, pool builders, plumbing companies, nobody's taking that great information and applying it to that niche. You have the ability to really stand out. And so that's what you do it on, right? You cover the fundamentals, how to set up the website to convert, how to get ranked, how to get online reviews, how to tap into social media, and the list goes on and on and on. It's not hard to come up with 12 webinars. That way you can do a new webinar every single month that would be of interest and of value. And I promise you, you even do like 3 or 4 webinars a year, you're going to position yourself as the expert. You're going to be the thought leader in that niche. Clients will come to you as the expert. And then opportunities to present at the front of the room in big conferences where your clients and prospects are aggregated will come. And when that starts to happen, the whole dynamic of your business changes. So, in the 7-Figure Agency Blueprint, I share our webinar. So I do this. I eat my own dog food. And so I've already made these webinars for myself. I run them every month on different topics. I actually just take the presentation slides. I take the landing pages that I set up. I take the emails that I use to promote it. I take the emails that I send after the webinar, the social posts, the whole 9 yards. I put them into the members area. So, if you guys jump in with me in the 7-Figure Agency Blueprint, you're going to have access to our entire database of webinars that you can truly swipe and deploy with step-by-step instructions on how to do this stuff. So, I believe it was Scott was asking, what do we recommend? So, Webinar Engine, Zoom, opt-in funnel to opt in for the webinar and get to the thank you page. I use ClickFunnels. I like ClickFunnels. You can use other tools for that. To get people to register, I use emails through Infusionsoft, but again, there's lots of other tools for that. I use Facebook advertising to my retargeted list, and that's a great ninja strategy to be omnipresent and to get your prospects into the webinars. And then I syndicate to YouTube, SlideShare, blogs, and iTunes. I know we're going long, so I don't want to go into too much depth on this, but like, these are the steps. These are like exactly what you do before the webinar. These are exactly what you do after the webinar, and you can really tap into the power of both creating the content and syndicating it in a really powerful way. So one last thing I'm going to say on this topic of using webinars and positioning yourself as the expert is to make sure you offer a shortcut. And this is the hack to get qualified appointments even if they don't show up on the webinar. So you promote the webinar, you get them to a landing page. Once they get to the landing page, instead of just getting a confirmation, they're going to see a video. And this is what I recommend all of you do. Of you saying, hey, thanks for registering for the webinar. It's going to be awesome. If you're like most pest control companies, you like to understand how it works, but you really want somebody that knows what they're doing, can do it for you. And if that's you, I want to offer you the opportunity to schedule a time with me where I can talk about how we can execute this for you in your business. That 1-2 punch is the best way to shortcut getting appointments and getting a consistent flow of qualified leads. Because the fact is, we all spend a lot of time vexing over the perfect webinar. Probably some of you are like, man, I don't know if I can do the right webinar. Is my slide going to look right? Am I going to say the right words? The fact is, most people don't attend the webinar, right? If you promote this to 1,000 people and 60 people register, you're going to have like 7 to 10 people that show up. Most of them don't watch the webinar. And really, even more important, your best prospect, the person you really want, the 7-figure agency business owner that will make this decision and jump with you on board right away, will not attend your webinar. They just don't have the time. They don't really care that much, but they will register for the webinar. This is the most crazy insight, and hopefully, if you don't get anything else from today's webinar that you can execute, get this. It's not about the webinar, it's about the promotion of the webinar. If you can send interesting emails that get your prospect interested enough to say, wow, I want to know about that topic, and you can get them to register, you shortcut that by offering the appointment on the Schedule Now page. You can create new appointments with highly qualified prospects on a monthly basis, even if they don't attend your webinar. So don't overthink the webinar. Don't overthink the presentation skills. Promote the webinars. Get the clients that are interested and get them on your calendar. So just to illustrate this point, I did a webinar on local service ads a couple months ago, and this is pretty typical for me now. 193 people register. 58 people filled out my pre-assessment form, and 19 scheduled strategy sessions. For years, I did webinars. I would promote the webinar. The thank you page would just be, hey, thanks, put it on your calendar. And then a bunch of emails, and I have some people show up, and I'd maybe wind up with like 1 or 2 appointments. And that was fine, 1 or 2 appointments, and a couple of them turned into sales. Fantastic. When I started doing that shortcut, look at this, 19 scheduled strategy sessions. And I can do that with a lot of my webinars these days because I have a pretty big list and a pretty big following. But that shortcut is really a game changer. And just an example outside myself, you guys might know Jeff Fisher from Local Child Care Services, or at least at the time that was his business. He joined our program. He was a generalist agency, kind of stagnated. He jumped in, he bought into the concept, choose a niche, decided to focus on local child care, committed to like really selling recurring monthly services. He had been selling like $175 a month stuff, and he upped it to $1,000 per month. And the key thing that moved him forward was starting to do webinars, and he started doing webinars every single month. And I think Jeff will tell you he doesn't have a lot of presentation confidence. It's not his favorite thing to get in front of people and present, but he committed to it, and he did it. And he started landing, on average, 2 to 3 new clients every single month from the webinar strategy. And that's what moved him forward to the point where he was able to sell his agency last year. And now he's one of our 7-figure agency success coaches that kind of helps me train other agencies like yourself how to execute this stuff and how to move their businesses forward. So again, in the members area, as a member of the 7-figure agency blueprint, we give you this stuff to swipe and deploy. We've got a great workbook that gives you step-by-step how to set it up, what tools to use, how to get a virtual assistant to help you execute this on a monthly basis. And the key things I want you to do here are commit to monthly webinars, map out your next 3 months worth of content at a minimum. I've got my 12 months, and then block time in the calendar to really build out your first campaign. Well, I hope you found that information useful that you can go back and implement in your digital marketing agency. If you'd like more ideas, strategies, and techniques on really how to effectively grow your digital marketing agency, I'd like to invite you to go to 7figureagency.com/video. That's 7figureagency.com/video. There I outline how we were able to grow our digital marketing agency from 0 to 7 figures in the first 2 years, and then to the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies the last 3 years in a row. Lots of ideas that you can implement to really accelerate the growth of your digital marketing agency. So I really encourage you, go ahead and head over there, opt in, it's completely free, and take a look at that video series. I'll look forward to talking with you soon.